upload a little bit today. Not too long video, just kinda wanted to do it so nobody is just harassing me for it. Not that I could care. I'd probably just ignore you if you did. Anyhow, this is what if issei was byakuya. Now, this is going to take place near around, right. This is going to take place around the time when they were going to fight, no, I apologize. No, right, sorry. About the time when they were preparing to fight Cyborg. I'm sorry if I said his name wrong. I forgot how to pronounce it. But yeah. Anyhow. This would just be directly after issei was verbally assaulted by everyone in the peerage. Well, except for Ravel. But everybody else in the peerage verbally assaulted and battered issei after he had supposedly said something foolish towards Rias. We see issei as he would be walking the streets of Kuo. He would be standing at the fountain where he would have been killed. Maybe, I don't know. But issei would find himself standing in a place where he was killed by his first girlfriend, Rainier. And as he would look down towards the almost unnoticeable dried blood on the ground, he would think to himself, what have I possibly ever done to deserve what I've had to go through? First, I'm killed by my first girlfriend who turned out to be a fallen angel who killed me for my sacred gear. Then I find myself in a very basic and bland harem protagonist situation, only to end up being hated by all of my so-called harem for something that I didn't do. I've had to almost die multiple times. I've risked my limbs and my life for Rias and her happiness, and yet she simply threw my kindness to the side and stomped on it. And what makes it even worse is the rising suspicion of me only being resurrected because of my sacred gear, and that Rias knew Rainier was in her territory, and she also knew that she was going to kill me and use that opportunity to force me into servitude, even if she phrased it differently. I simply do not understand. Why is it that I find myself in this situation? He would let out a dry chuckle. I don't remember myself ever speaking this way. How very strange. As issei was about to walk away from the park, he would feel a pain in his head as he would fall down to his knees. This is when scenes would be playing through issei's mind. What could be seen was a man.
If you want to...
Yeah, sorry. But what could be seen was a man with long black hair and strange white objects on strands of his hair. He would be wearing a white haori with the kanji for captain on the back of it. he would be holding a beautiful blade by his hip, as he would bring his sword outwards. As he would see this, the man would say, "Ban kai, senbon sakura, kogayoshi," as the blade of his sword would turn into pink flower petals as they would begin to swirl around him. As they would swirl around him, he would see multiple men and strange monsters cut down in front of him, as they would all vanish in a strange black dust. Issei would be watching this in confusion, wondering as to where he was. As he was about to try to shake his head and figure out what was going on and focus, a voice could be heard. The same voice that would have called out that strange name. Issei would turn to see the man standing next to him, hands behind his back, standing in a rather formal posture, his sword attached to his hip. The man would then state, "Oh, it would appear that you are the next wielder of Maison Pacto. While you are not my vessel, specifically, you will hold my power. What you do with it is your choice. Though, keep in mind that should you choose to be foolish with your power, the power will not accept you." As Issei would find himself back on the park, just looking down, he would then look up as he would speak to himself. What the hell was that? Who was that? I must be tired. I should go home. Wait, no. I shouldn't go home, because all of those people are still angry at me for something that I didn't do. I wonder if Sona will allow me to go to her place. In this what if, Sona and Issei are actually good friends. Issei would find himself in front of the Citri mansion, and he would then stand at the front door before knocking. As the door would open, what would be revealed is a Seraphal Leviathan, as she would be wearing a gothic Lolita dress with her hair tied into pigtails. As stupid ads, man. Anyhow, as she would look at Issei. "Oh, Red Dragon Emperor, what are you doing here?" Issei would then say, "Well, I'm here to ask if I could stay here for the night, but I'm having a problem at home." Seraphal would have a knowing smile as she would say, "Sure thing. You can come watch Magical Girls with me." Issei, thinking over in his mind, "I'm already regretting coming here. This was a mistake." As Seraphal would allow Issei to enter her home. As Seraphal would show Issei into a guest room, Issei would just fall asleep immediately. Issei's mind. "Will you die for me?" A sadistic voice, being Rainer's voice, could be heard as Issei would rewatch the event of him being killed, the day his life changed completely. Issei would just be sitting there, watching tears streaming down his face, with a dull and expressionless look on his face. No emotion shown. This is when he would feel a slight warmth. As Issei would wake up, he would find himself being wrapped up in a tight hug by Serafal, Leviathan. Issei would sputter out, Leviathan-sama, what are you doing? Serafal would only hush him, as she would say, do not worry about it. I am simply here to help you. Issei would have tears in his eyes slightly. But why? Why would you help me? Serafal would say, because you are a very kind man. Even if you have your strange antics, I can tell that much. You are very kind. So, please tell me, what is it that has you distraught? Issei would think about the answer, as he would then say, well, I was asked a question by Rias. She asked me what I was to her, or what she was to me, and I answered that President was President. Serafal would think about this, and then what happened? Well, she got angry, and everybody else in the peerage would have then verbally and just insulted me in general, saying that I was an idiot and that I was extremely terrible for what I had done. Serafal would have a tick mark on her forehead. That's very stupid. They get angry at you for that. Serafal would then say, tell me, Issei, do you have feelings for Rias? Issei would think, as he would then say, I don't think so. Serafal would be a bit shocked by this. What do you mean? Issei would then say, well, I don't believe that it was love, per se, but more admiration. I admired Rias's so-called strength, until I came to the conclusion of what she did. Serafal would then say, what she did. What exactly did she do? Issei would answer, she let me die and forced me to be a devil. Serafal would be shocked at this. She would then ask, are you sure? Issei would nod. I'm most positive. She told me once that she was aware that fallen angels were in her territory, meaning that she knew that the person who killed me was there and what she was doing. Issei, you do understand that making an accusation like that could get you executed, right? Issei would nod, and then say, that's why I won't come out on it. That's exactly why I won't tell anybody. Serafal would then nod her head, as her voice would go back to the same high-pitched and excited one, as she would say, all right then, Issei, you're now going to be my servant, but not just my servant. You are going to be my husband. Issei would have a deadpan stare on his face. Excuse me? Serafal would rub the back of her head sheepishly. Oh, right. I shouldn't have just decided that. I was pretty much just inviting you to join my peerage. I have a spot open for being a knight. Issei would think about this. I see. Very well, but if I may ask, what about the pawn pieces that I already have? Serafal would then say, oh, we'll get rid of those. Don't worry about it. Just go to sleep, and it'll all be taken care of by the morning. Issei would nod, as he would then fall asleep, still being held by Seraphol. We're going to time skip. About a year later, Seraphol would enter a training ground, as she would look with a warm smile on her face to see the man that she loved. What could be seen was a man with long brown hair, and he would also have strange I was thinking. Anyhow, he would also have strange pink eyes, as he would be wearing a white haori and a black shuhakusho under it. On his hip would be a very normal-looking sword at just first glance, but this sword was very unique. This man would be Issei Hyodo, the fiancé of Seraphol Leviathan and the knight of Seraphol Leviathan. And he would have become extremely strong. His long brown hair would flow in some non-existent wind, as he would be practicing with his blade. As Seraphol would walk up to her betrothed, wrapping her arms around him and bringing him into an embrace, Issei would only smile at his fiancée, as over the year they have become extremely close. Close to the point where Seraphol will be more clingy than she is to her sister. A voice could be heard, clearing their throat, as they would both look to see Sona standing there with her arms crossed, a frown on her face. Sona would then say, Issei, Nisan, how long are you two gonna act like that? Don't you have, important matters to attend to? Seraphol would ponder this. You mean other than lopping my betrothed with love? Sona would have a scowl on her face by now, as Issei would let out a chuckle at Sona's misfortune. This is when a man would appear in the Grimoire magic circle, as Sirzex would appear. Seraphol and Issei, along with Sona, would look at Sirzex. Seraphol would say, Zex. Sirzex would just nod, as he would look at Issei a bit curiously. So, Issei, how have you been? My surrogate little brother. Issei would think, I suppose pretty well. I mean, being here with Sarah and all of the people that I cherish, I'd say that I am doing quite well. What about you, Sirzex? Sirzex would nod. Very good, actually. It's been pretty amusing to see my little sister very confused as to where you have went. And she's still searching for you till this day. Rather hypocritical, but it's still pretty funny. Issei would only smile, as he would then say, So, what are you here for, Zex? Sir Zex would then say, "Oh, well, I am here to officially announce you as a high-class devil." As issei would nod, Zex would then say, "Come, we've got to get this over with, as I know I can already tell by the time you release Seraphol, you're already gonna be upset not being able to constantly cling to her, like the leech that you both are." Both Seraphol and issei would rub the back of their head sheepishly. "Right. Well, let's go then." As they would vanish off in a magic circle. Now, I'm just gonna end this here, because that's really all of the motivation I have. And, see you all next time.